We are live. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live. And this evening on the midweek huddle, I have a question for you. Are you a content creator who wants to learn how to create consistent content that's for your audience, that's going to connect with them? Well, if that is something you are definitely looking and striving to do in creating content on YouTube, this evening on the huddle, we're going to be sharing 5 important tips to help you to create consistent content that connects with your audience. And we're starting right now. Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to the Midweek Huddle. I'm your host, Walter Strong. If you're new here and you want to broaden your reach, your impact, and income through online video, we welcome you to the show. And as we said this evening, we're going to be talking about 5 tips on how to create consistent content that will connect with your audience. Consistent, purpose-driven content that will connect with your audience. So if that is definitely something you're looking to do me a favor in the chat. If you're just joining me, let me know where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live in the chat. If you are on YouTube, give me a hashtag Team Live. If you're on LinkedIn, give me a hashtag Team Live. And if you're watching the replay, either on YouTube or LinkedIn, give me a hashtag Team Replay. And so, as I said, we're going to get into this content on how to create consistent content for your audience that connects with them. Purpose-driven content. And before I get into the content, I want to open this up by asking a few questions as we get into this masterclass. When you think of the word consistency, what comes to mind to you? Why do you believe being consistent is so important to us, just in life, in business, and in content? Why is it so important? In the business world or in the entertainment news world, it is important to be consistent, to continuously put out content. If you are in news, to constantly show up at 12 p.m., 6 p.m., or 11 o'clock at night reporting the news. If the news channels like 2, 4, and 7 decided to say we're going to take a break and not reporting the news, then it would cause a disconnect with their audience. If a business or business owner decides to say, today I'm going to take a break and not open my doors when it is a regular day that they should be operating from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and they decide not to show up, it causes a disconnect with their customers, rather new potential customers and returning existing customers. So the importance of being consistent is very important from an entertainment standpoint, from a business standpoint, and even from a content creation standpoint. When you make the decision to start creating content, rather through pressing the record button and uploading a video that you've recorded to upload every Wednesday during the week for viewers to watch, if you decide to stop uploading content, the viewer's expectation of wanting to find your video will cause a disconnect. And so being consistent is important. Take it a step further. Not just in terms of frequency, but even in your message. Your message in terms of what you communicate from an entertainment standpoint, from news, from a business perspective in the message that you're communicating about your business, even in content creation as well. So, consistency, as you can see, is very important no matter if it's news and entertainment, business, or content creation. The next question that I pose to you is, why is consistency important to you? I need you to lean in this evening. Why is consistency important to you? And so, as you ponder that question, we are going to fire up the Stream Deck and talk about consistent, compelling content that connects with your audience. We're going to talk about that this evening. So, if you're just joining me, let me know where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live, either on LinkedIn or a hashtag Team Live in YouTube. And if you're going to watch the replay, we truly appreciate you watching the replay. Before we get into this content, I want to say good evening to my good content friend, Mr. John Lacey. Good evening, sir. Thank you for taking a few minutes out your important schedule to join us here on the Midweek Huddle as we are talking about why it is important to create consistent, compelling content that connects with your audience. So let's get into this. Tip number one, why is it important? From a time management standpoint, it's important to be consistent. Having good time management skills will help me and you as content creators to be consistent, whether if we are doing a live stream every week, if we are uploading recorded videos, or if we are doing short form videos such as shorts or reels. Having good time management skills is important, especially when you have a full-time career. Notice I didn't say job, but a career that you have to get up in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening or from the midnight hours into the early morning hours. If you have a full-time career, then you know X amount of hours during the day is dedicated to that career. On top of that, you may be a person who is married and who has a family and has children. You have X amount of time where you have to devote to them as well. And then you have your passion of wanting to be a content creator and creating content on YouTube, doing podcasts, on social media. Time management becomes very critical and important to be able to create consistent, compelling content for your audience to connect with them. And time management skills helps you to have the right amount of time to do your research on the content ideas you want to create content about. Time management skills helps you to be able to plan out that content, whether if you're planning it out on a weekly basis, or if you're planning it out on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis, or even, I dare say, for an entire 365 days. It gives you the ability to plan out your content so you can be consistent. And even scheduling your content, because now in this automation world that we live in, you don't have to get up every morning or sometime in the afternoon, in the evening, and sit down in front of the computer to have to post your content. You can schedule it or automate it so that it goes out at a certain time, at a certain day. But to be able to have those things in place means having good time management skills to do so that you can be able to be consistent. When those time management skills begin to break down, then that's when it begins to become a challenge to be consistent. Because there's a breakdown in our time management, then we're now overcompensating to try to take care of things regarding our career and our profession. We're overcompensating in trying to take things in when it comes to family or even personal health and rest, we begin to overcompensate and begin to eliminate things for the sake of trying to be consistent. And then when the time management breaks down, and don't get me wrong, it's, if you miss uploading a video a week or two and then come back 2 weeks later, that does not necessarily mean that the algorithms of these platforms are going to punish you, but it could be an indication where you begin to start to lose momentum in growing your channel and growing your brand. So time management skills are very key, I believe, to be able to create compelling, consistent content for your audience. Tip number 2, I believe being able to take those time management skills, taking time throughout your day, even if it's for 15 minutes on your lunch break, and just taking your notepad and jotting down some content ideas. Taking a notepad and jotting down some content ideas that you can say, this may work for my next short. This may work for my next pre-recorded. This will definitely be a great topic if you're a person who likes to talk about OBS, like my good man John Lacey, that he can say, this could be a great topic on OBS. So having a regular notepad to jot down content ideas is a great way of doing so. If you are not the traditional pen and pad person like myself, maybe opening up a Google Docs on your phone and creating a new doc is a way of jotting down content ideas. And if you don't want to use a Google Doc, maybe you want to use OneNote. Whatever the tool is to help you to jot down content ideas, use it. Because to turn around and to keep that up in our head, for the entire day, life happens. Challenges and people pull on us. Distractions happen, and next thing you know, as good of a memory you may think you have, life and things will happen to the point where you may end up forgetting exactly how you wanted to present it. It's one thing to say, I want to make my next video on how to grow your channel, or how to grow your channel, or let's put it this way, best advice for new content creators on YouTube. That's the original idea. However, if I jot it down and then just go back and look at it throughout the day or throughout the week, ultimately we want to get that title where it's optimized, which we'll talk about later in this presentation. We want to make it more searchable, so that way when people see that title, it immediately grabs their attention. But if I'm constantly thinking in my head best advice for new content creators on YouTube, and I don't take any time to write it down, life and situation and things are going to happen, and I'm going to end up not being able to maximize on really optimizing and getting a compelling title. Same thing when it comes to thoughts for creating a thumbnail. Maybe we're not in front of a computer, and we have some ideas. The ideas begin to come to us about how we want to design our next thumbnail regarding our next live stream or video, and just taking some time and opening up a OneNote or a Google Doc or just a regular notepad and jotting down some ideas on how we want to design this can take us so much further in creating a quality thumbnail that's going to grab the viewer. And if we're consistent in that, then we improve even in our thumbnails. And so good time management skills, using the practice of just constantly, taking that time to put down content ideas, is going to help me and you to be consistent on YouTube or LinkedIn, our platform. And so, boom, what happened there? Why is this freezing? Oh, see, I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll. I know I'm on a roll now here. Why? There we go. Boom. Just a little technical difficulty, but that's okay. Hey, if you're getting great value in this live stream discussion on how to be able to be consistent in creating compelling content for your audience, do me a favor. If you're joining me whether on LinkedIn or YouTube, give me a thumbs up on one of those platforms. Share this on your favorite social media platform, whether on LinkedIn or YouTube. When you click that share button, it's going to give you an option to be able to share it to your profile so others connected with you on LinkedIn can check out the live stream, or on YouTube. This lets YouTube know, or LinkedIn, that this is some great content that people need to see. Want to say good evening to a couple other good individuals over here on YouTube. My good man, Tech Troublemaker, joining us this evening. Good evening, sir. Good evening. And then the live stream moderator, Mr. Frank Jackson, in the house. Good evening, sir. And then, good old oldie but goodie, food for the soul, Mr. Walter Rush, LLC, in the house. Good evening, sir. Thank you for taking time out your busy schedule for checking us out here on the Midweek Huddle. We are talking about 5 tips. We've covered 2 so far on being able to create compelling, consistent content for your audience. So whether if you are a person that creates YouTube content creation, or creating content by preparing some good food for the soul and for the stomach, because my man cooks some mean food on his YouTube channel, Walter, my man over there. And then, like I said, live streamer extraordinaire, Mr. John Lacey, over on LinkedIn. Hey, give us a thumbs up and a like, because we're just getting started here. We're going to go over now to tip number 3, optimize in advance. So again, you don't have your laptop, and you don't have all your tools that you normally use to be able to put the recorded video together or put together for your next live stream, but you got your phone, you got a pen and a pad, and you got some downtime, because maybe you're on the train. You got some downtime because maybe you're in the car because the wife is now doing some shopping in the mall, and you decided to just chill in the car. Well, that's a great time to optimize and just, starting that first title, that content idea that you got on best advice for new content creators on LinkedIn or YouTube, and just really working on that title, optimizing and working on the title of that to make sure that, hey, look, this is going to be something that's going to grab a viewer's attention. Taking the time and really going over your thumbnail or thumbnails that's going to grab a viewer's attention, that's going to grab them as they're scrolling on their mobile phone and say, hey, stop, watch this. Or if it's just working on your run of show for your next live stream. This is a great opportunity for you to do these things so that me and you can be consistent in creating not just ordinary content, not just the usual content, but compelling, purpose-driven content. You see the difference? You can choose to create ordinary, usual content, and there's a ton of that. You go on your homepage, and YouTube will serve you, LinkedIn will serve you a ton of usual, normal content, because we see it all the time. But when you discipline yourself, when you commit yourself to saying, I want to be able to create consistent, compelling, purpose-driven content for your viewers, then you get into the mindset to say, hey, okay, honey, go ahead, take care of what you got to do. Kids, go take care and do what you got to do. Dad is going to sit here, over here. I'm going to chill over here in Starbucks, sit at the table, get me a nice toffee nut latte grande, and I got my Google Docs in my phone. Let's start working on these titles. Let me go into my Canva app and start working on my thumbnails. Let me go ahead and start working on my run a show. These are the things that's going to help me and you to create consistent, compelling, purpose-driven content. I'm not of the opinion that it's just about uploading the next video every Wednesday at 12 p.m. I think being consistent is about the things behind the scenes that's going to put me and you in the best position to optimize, so that way we can see more views on our uploaded video. We can put ourselves in the best position so we can have a better turnout in our live stream engagement, viewers watching live, as well as in the replay. Let me ask you a question. Those of you on the chat, whether on LinkedIn or YouTube, how much time do you spend promoting your content? How much time are you spending optimizing, saying, okay, I know I got a show coming up on Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. How much time are you working and developing your graphics and working on and targeting the social media channels that you know your audience is on, that connects with you? Or how much time are you spending and putting things together so that when it's time to go live, you are not looking at 0 viewers on your live stream? All of these things play a very important part in being able to be consistent in creating compelling, purpose-driven content to connect with your audience. It all ties together. Tip number 4, batching out record. Batching out. And when I talk about batching out, being consistent, it can be batching out recorded videos that you spend a day maybe doing 2 to 3 videos, whether shorts, reels, uploaded videos, or batching out for graphics, graphic designing, for social media posts, for flyers, being able to promote your upcoming live stream shows for your guests that are going to be joining you, and you want viewers to know, in the YouTube community tab, to your social media pages that you may be on Facebook or LinkedIn, that they may feel it's of an interest to them to say, hey, I may want to schedule some time and check this out. Or if you are not a person who's outsourcing editing and you have to do your own editing, batching out time to do edits. It all plays an important part in being able to create consistent, compelling, purpose-driven content that's going to connect with your audience. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this live stream discussion, do me a favor. I hope it's not too much to ask from you all in the chat on LinkedIn and YouTube. If you hadn't done so yet, hit that like button, click that thumbs up, share it on your favorite social media platform, on LinkedIn. To my online listeners, whether on LinkedIn or YouTube, who haven't in the chat yet, let me know. Hey, do me that favor. It'd be very important. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I want to encourage you to subscribe, because we are committed to helping you broaden your reach, your impact, your income through online video as a content creator, new or as existing. See some comments in the chat, so let's just jump over right quick. See here what we got. Okay. See the chat. My man Tech embracing and communicating with everyone. That's good. Boom. John says, can't wait for these tips. Hey, appreciate it. I hope they've been some great value to you. Perfect. Tech says #Team Live. And if you're checking out the replay up to this point, I want to encourage you to hit that #Team Replay in the comments section. And as we've talked about these tips, which of one of these tips have really connected with you, that's going to help you as a content creator, to whether it being time management, writing down ideas, or Or like we said, in terms of optimizing in advance, which one of these tips really speaks to you, that connects with you, that's going to help you to be able to create consistent content? So, tip number 5, asset library. Now, you may say, what do you mean by asset library? For the most part, in YouTube here, I can see in the chat, and my good man John Lacey um, over in LinkedIn, all of us, for the most part, are all creators. So we all have to go through that process of preparing our live stream shows that we all do. But what I found is, when you're preparing for a live stream show and you really want to put yourself in the best position so that this show can really connect with your audience, you really want it to be able to grab people's attention. Sometimes it requires using some other things to be able to enhance the live stream to get more engagement. What are some of those things? Background music. Being able to use background music, either during the stream, music for your intro, music for your outro. Well, over a period of time, you may come across different types of music and songs that is royalty free that you want to get maybe on Epidemic Sound, which we use for our intros and our outros. So there's a link in the description. And if you don't have Epidemic Sound and you want to be able to get quality royalty free music, so you're not getting copyright claims or even, God forbid, strikes because you're using music that you don't have the rights to, links in the description. Take advantage of Epidemic Sound. But let's get back to our point. You start to you accumulate different types of songs that you like and you want to use for your live streams, for your uploaded videos, and even for shorts or reels. Well, building an asset library of those different songs makes it now easy for you to be able to pull from, instead of you now having to go back to Epidemic Sound and look for under your download section of latest videos, or you've got to go back to Epidemic Sound and now try to find something different because what you want to do that's in line with your next piece of content. So building an asset library for music, for sound effects. Some people accuse of me having my own sound effects. Can't, for another discussion, time for another discussion, or even video clips, and building an asset library so that way it will help you to create compelling, purpose-driven content. And so these 5 tips I wanted to share here on the Midweek Huddle to help you as a content creator be able to better connect with your audience, whether if it's through just working on your time management skills, writing down ideas, whether through a pen and a pad, through just opening a Google Doc on your phone or OneNote, is a great way of being able to be consistent. Also, being able to optimize in advance, whether if you're optimizing, you got your content ideas, now you have to work on your titles so that they can be compelling, creating quality thumbnails, optimize in advance, and write out even runner shows. And then, batch out recordings, batch out designing graphic designs for, like I said, for thumbnails, for social media posts, for flyers for your show, online flyers for your show. And then finally, asset library, music, video clips, sound effects. These are just some great tips, I believe, if we put into practice as content creators, we'll be able to create compelling, purpose-driven content that will connect with our audience. And so if there are any questions, with the little time we have left here on this evening's Midweek Huddle, do me a favor, put a Q in front of your question. And if you have a comment on regarding one of these tips that we've just talked about, put a C in front of the comment so we can bring it up in the chat and just have a little brief conversation. So do that for me while I'm waiting for that. Hey, if you are looking to connect with me as a content creator, whether through having me on as a guest on your live stream or wanting to collaborate or just work together in content creation partnership, or even from a coaching standpoint, you will find our links there on how to connect with me, whether through YouTube or my website, walterstromthird.com, or if you're interested in giving a donation as we are looking to grow in our content creation journey, you can certainly buy me a coffee with my link there, right there on the thing there. And then if you are a live streamer and you need some help on just improving your live stream through engagement or just organizing and putting together a great run of show, there is a live stream checklist. The link is in the description where you can go to walterstromthird.com/the huddle, sign up to our email list, and you can be able to join our community and get a free copy of the live stream checklist. So let's jump over right quick. I do see a quick question from Tech Troublemaker. He's a troublemaker. That guy is a straight troublemaker in a good way. In a good way. Tech says, where is a good place to store my asset library? Great question, man. This is a great question. Well, storing your asset library can be, number one, if it's on desktop, it can be saved on your Google Drive. If you are a person who uses the Google ecosystem, it can, for me, I store a lot of my asset for when we're talking. Let's talk about music, background music. Let's talk about video clips and sound effects. I tend to keep all of mine in CANVA because where my graphics and thumbnails are, there's an audio section that everything that I upload. So that's a great place to store your asset library when we're talking about background music, when we're talking about sound effects, and we're talking about video clips. If we're talking about asset libraries in terms of B-roll and video footage, maybe you want to store that on your computer, or you want to get a separate hard drive where you can store that so that it is readily available to you, so that way when it's time to plan out for a live stream show like you do every Tuesday night at 9 p.m., boom, you can pull from that library. Think about the old days, Tech. When we were kids and we would go to the library, we would have to look for a book because the teacher gave us the assignment to bring home to our mother and father. And then we had to go into this big, big library, and we have to find a book on a particular topic and subject, and we had no clue where to look. But the librarian, once we gave them the title, the name of the book, they were able to look, bop, 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 go down there to this row here, look for the S, go to the boom, go a little further down there, boom. You found the book. Then you signed out what you needed to sign out, got the book for a couple of days, returned it. Same concept. Same concept. And so having, I think our dear sister Florence always talks about removing friction. So this is a great way of having an asset library to remove friction. My man, good John Lacey says, thank you, Walter. That was great, man. I appreciate that I was able to add a little bit of value. I have much respect for you and Sam that I listen to every Friday night. If for those of you on YouTube who don't know who this gentleman is, his name is John Lacey. Connected with him on LinkedIn, but he also has a YouTube channel and he does a lot of live streaming. He talks a lot about OBS. So he goes live. John, correct me. I believe you go live Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. every Friday night. So those of you who are in the Huddle community, if you definitely want to check him out, he has some great content. So I want to give you a great shout out. Give my regards to your partner Sam to me as well, sir. I truly enjoy your content. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other comments regarding how to create compelling, purpose-driven content that will connect with your audience? It's important, whether if you're on LinkedIn or on YouTube, or if you're checking out the replay up to this point. I want to thank you. If you have a question or a comment, definitely leave it in the comment section. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit that like button for me. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I want to encourage you. The Huddle is definitely making some strides in connecting with the audience. Not just any type of audience, but an audience that really wants to grow as content creators on YouTube and as well as on LinkedIn. We're on LinkedIn, so can't forget that as well. Any other thoughts and questions before we bring this train into the station? If not, hey, again, John, just to hear you say and tell me that this has been great, we've accomplished our mission. Tech, if I've helped you to just be able to get help you with asset library, we've accomplished our mission. And you see, every now and then, a legend on live streaming and content creation will stop by and say hi. And so I want to say good evening to Miss Chantel. And forgive me, ma'am, Miss Hill. Forgive me if I say this first name wrong. Chantella Hill is joining us on LinkedIn this evening. Ma'am, I believe you are in, what, Australia, I think. One time I read one of your LinkedIn posts. Correct me if I'm wrong, but thank you for being on the midweek huddle. We have just been talking about 5 important tips on helping you as a content creator to put together, to create compelling, purpose-driven content that connects with your audience. So I hope your schedule does permit you to be able to check out the replay. Let me see anything else. I want to make sure I don't want to miss anyone else before we bring this to a close. Oh man, John put some information in here, and I'm about to not speak on it. So John says, yeah, all of those things are important. Thumbnails, run a show, promotion, newsletters, definitely, to promote forthcoming lives, past podcasts, and repurposing. Oh, we can't forget about repurposing. John, you hit the nail on the head. Even when it comes to be able to be consistent in repurposing our content, it's so key. You know, not just to sit down and to prepare the next video that you're going to upload, or to do the next live stream that you're going to do and go live, but even thinking in terms of in the repurposing aspect. I'll go back to the example. If you are a person who likes pizza here in the States, I love me some good cheese pizza. I'm not a person with a lot of toppings on it, but I can pretty much eat because I'm lactose intolerant. I can pretty much eat maybe 2 to 3 slices. 3 is the max for me. I can't eat a whole pie of pizza. I'm not going to even try. But then, well, what do you do with the other slices of the pie if you're not sharing with, dinner with your family? Then you want to be able to go back and have that pizza at a later time, or, the next day. And so you're not just going to just say, okay, boom, that's it, throw the rest in the garbage. Unfortunately, too many of us, and I'm talking to us as live streamers right now, because John just hit the nail on the head on how we too much take our live streams, and we take the first part of the live stream, we get our likes, we get our engagements, we get our content in, and then we end the broadcast, and we take the rest of it and we throw it in the garbage. Too many of us as live streamers do that. And so, John, boom, spot on. See here, we got here. What we got here. And that was a good point. Tech says, okay, Tech says, okay, we did him. We did that question already. Man. All right, perfect. All right. Well, I'm not going to take too much of your time. I want to appreciate and thank John, Miss Hill over on LinkedIn, Tech, Mr. Frank Jackson, and those of you who are online listening. Maybe you are in the car and you just couldn't engage in the chat. Understand, but the simple fact that you kept me on and you were listening, truly appreciate. Just need one big favor from you. When you put that car in park, make sure you give me that thumbs up. Make sure you share this content with another fellow content creator. If you are at work, understand when you get a quick lunch break or break, snack break, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And if you're just chilling, taking a walk outside, walking the dog, or even walking yourself, you get through walking, make sure you give us a thumbs up. So we're going to bring this train into the station. And I want to thank Tech, John, Ms. Hill, Mr. Frank Jackson, to all my online listeners who've been checking this out this evening. Thank you all for being a part of the Midweek Huddle. This Saturday, coming up at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have a live stream Q&A. Bring your questions. We're going to be talking about live stream tips, live stream strategies, live stream questions that we as live streamers need to know about that helps us to be better live streamers, and that will help even new live streamers who want to learn how to live stream and grow during live streaming and having an engagement in their live stream. So join us Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live stream Q&A huddle style with yours truly, Walter Strong. As we end this live stream, YouTube is going to recommend a video for you to watch, one of our previous live streams. So make sure you check that out. And we will see you on Saturday, 11 a.m. God bless.